Hi, I'm Christy Fontanolia of FAS Bookkeeping and Tax Services, and welcome to this video regarding the latest update on the PPP loan. So I will be discussing today particularly the October 8, 2020 updates on the PPP loan forgiveness and loan review procedures. So before we discuss that, let's go over the SBA PPP report that tells us that loan size of 50,000 and under comprise or represent about almost 70%. With this, it tells us that loan 50,000 and below represents about close to 70% of the loan count. But in terms of dollar amount of the loan, it's only representing 12%. So SBA and Department of Treasury have determined that this 50,000 and under loan is more on the de minimis. So that's one of the reasons why they come up with this new updates. So let's go over the changes on the loan forgiveness rules. So there's two things that really great news with regards to this update. The first one is there's a new form, a more simplified form, because the old form is about 2 pages. This one is just 1 page. And again, any loan 50,000 and below can use this form 3508S. So it's less intimidating compared to the other form. It's a lot easier to complete. The other one, which is also great news for a lot of business owners with loan 50,000 and less, is that the borrower is exempt from any reductions on the forgiveness of the loan amount, even if they had a reduction in their full-time equivalent, whether reduction in hours or reduction in wages. So again, even if you had reduction in your full-time equivalent, you will still get 100% forgiven for your PPP loan. So that's again a great news. Now there's caveat to that. So for as long as the borrowers adheres to the rules. So remember, we have those rules with regards to what you can spend the PPP loan during the covered period and how much of that loan should be spent on payroll. So let's go over that again. So the first rule here is you have to spend all the PPP loan money either during that 8-week or the 24-week, and you use that for eligible expenses. Like, of course, payroll, rent, utilities. So those are eligible expenses that you can use the PPP loan. Second one, and really very important, is you should have spent the PPP loan money, 60% of that to payroll, because that's really the intent of the PPP loan, is for employers to continue to hire and pay their employees so they don't go out and apply for unemployment insurance, right? So so those are two big ones. Have to make sure that you follow that, you comply with those rules. And then if you're owner employee or self-employed and you chose the 24-week, your compensation is capped at 20,000. And if you chose the 8-week, then your compensation is capped at 15,385. So if you follow those rules, then your PPP loan will be forgiven for the full amount. Of course, you have to note that the idle grant is still going to be deducted from that PPP forgiven amount. So this is just the form. What's important here is you have all the basic information, of course, and then your PPP loan number from SBA, and then the lender PPP loan number. There are banks that or lenders that have the same number as the SBA PPP loan number. There are banks or lenders that have their own PPP loan number. So just make sure you have those information. Of course, your PPP loan amount, the date you disburse that loan, how many full-time equivalents do you have at the time of your loan application, and how many you have now at the time you're applying for the forgiveness. And then your idle loan advance, idle application number, and then the forgiveness amount. So here the certification is very important. Make sure that you read understand before you initial this form. This is a self-certification. That's really very important that you understand that before you certify that this is all correct and accurate. So if you remember, there's on the news, there's this guy that created fictitious company and fictitious employees and was able to get millions of dollars of PPP loan. He got caught later on, but these are those risks that SBA is trying to avoid. Of course, you have to sign on the form, print name, and just a few more notes here. Borrowers must apply for forgiveness from the lender that they got the PPP loan, not from SBA. Again, if you have an idle advance, that will still be deducted from the forgiven amount. So say you have 50,000 of loan, you have 10,000 of grant, then your forgivable amount is 40,000. So on the 3508S form, again, don't put the net amount there. So my example earlier, don't put the 40,000, put the 50,000 on the amount forgiven because you don't want that to be double counted. So it's a bank concern. They should be doing that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.